be in pensive mode, ladies. It's fun, man. I love doing this, dude. This is so much fun. It's like awesome. It's great. It's again, it's like nice to hang with folks too. It's like funny, like the past 4 years of like trying to get away from like, well, not even get away from it. It's like after strapping, which I love strapping, man, of course. But 38, had a kid, quit smoking, all that sort of shit, right? And all of a sudden I started thinking like, who am I? And I think the first thing I realized, I was like terrified of people, and it was like one of the main reasons I didn't want to tour anymore. I had this strange suspicion that like everybody, like the root of everybody, like root of humanity in general, was like this nefarious intent. And really, it's just like, well, maybe it's me too, right? And if I'm like, you know, a douche, then maybe I just need to hang out with like a ton of other people who are like. But I mean, it's like, so like this opportunity, like kind of hang with folks as well. Like it's like, hey man, we're hanging. How's it going, guys? What's going on? Hey, you want to play guitar? What's up? We're all yeah, we're all doing shit. Yeah, so like, somebody need to put on a shirt, and I know what else I need is armpit deodorant. Hey, we got another question? Go ahead.
Referring back to the festival performance of Ziltoid, especially to the solo battle between you and Ziltoid, and quite frankly, the moment of you serving Ziltoid his multi-dimensional ass.
I'm glad that you see that, because indeed that was a fight to the finish.
Exactly. But after it, I couldn't help but think, especially with the announcement that Z2 was coming, will Ziltoid seek revenge?
You know what? We've got this weird thing going on with each other where I think it's like, I remember reading this manga comic years ago where it's like the antagonist and the protagonist, they had this weird kind of bond together because they're looking to destroy each other. You know, they're looking for someone to better each other, right? So I think Zilton on some level is stoked because it gives him something to do now. He's like, oh, I'm going to show him. Wow, that actually made more sense than I thought it was gonna. You're that antagonist, protagonist? Hot damn! Well, you see, I think it, as well, it's like Ziltoid has this like real hard on for playing like wanky guitar stuff. Oh, yeah. Not me. I mean, no, I just want to go like this, right? But Ziltoid's like, no, about the back, right? So I think that on the next record, there's going to be a lot of kerwankery, you know, courtesy of Ziltoid, right? But you know, I'm doing my best to kind of like keep it in check because you let that guy get away with too much, man. You get a lot of scaly green goof on your head. Another question before? Yeah, go ahead.
The thing I really like about Dick is the fact that it's kind of like very pop-ish, like something you could dance to. I mean, like, would you have like more songs like in your albums that kind of have that? So it's like people who haven't heard you could be like, oh, this guy's pretty good. I should dance to it or something.
Yeah, I mean, dude, thank you, man. Number one, thank you. And I mean, I think the thing is, ultimately, like, goes to deconstruction. It's like I'm having like this issue now with like between management, because it's like you give them addicted. It's like really like it's like verging on something that people can relate to. And they're just like, great, let's follow it up. I'm like, okay, I got a new age record and a symphony about a cheeseburger. You know, and they're like, well, cool. So what we're trying to do, I guess, is again, it's like, dude, you can justify anything further enough into it. I'm just like, well, basically what we're trying to do is exemplify that juxtaposition between positive and negative. And they're like, yeah, but can you dance? Well, no, but there's a juxtaposition. So I mean, honestly, it's like when I don't write music, I mean, I love like techno, I love pop music, I love it, dude, right? So it's like ultimately, oh yeah, but more than anything else right now, what I'm trying to do with this whole Devin Townsend project thing is make it something live that can cover a lot of bases, right? So we can sit in the basement here and like rock up together and mellow stuff, and then go upstairs and like there's really heavy stuff, there's dancey stuff, and honestly, it's not, the music isn't really the point, it's like the intention behind it, right? And I think that my intention with it is I'm stoked, and I know that's like, you know, I really love playing music, and I'm like, you know, every day that you're above ground is like pretty good, right? And I think that I want to get a shirt say worse shit has happened to better people, you know? And I think that's ultimately like the point of this whole thing. Is it's like there's too many good things to dwell on the bad things in a lot of ways. Of course, there's shit days and everything, right? But I mean, in all honesty, it's like I'm incredibly lucky to be doing this. You know, I get to play in front of people. I get to travel. It's awesome, right? And I think that, you know, that's what I want the project to be. And so if we can kind of guide the emotional content of a show in like a bunch of different directions through like mellow stuff or heavy stuff, then the more the merrier in terms of records and, you know, styles, right? ultimately, yeah, dude, there's gonna be tons of that, right? There's gonna be tons more heavy stuff. There'll probably be more records about cheeseburgers somewhere along the line.
So yeah.
So right, here's the Addicted song. All right. Basically, the hotshot is my, what's that called? It's the disarming, that's not a pronoun, what would that be? Onomatopoeia? Disarming onomatopoeia. Hotshot! I wore my brightest green shirt for you folks. Totally. Yeah, well, I went for the black earlier, but it just didn't suit the mood today. It was sunny, birds in the air, frogs chirping. Another question? Yay.
The new way of writing music now, what are some of your inspirations or sources? Because now your substance free, so what's that journey?
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's like, it's just another journey, right? Like, I definitely don't like, I mean, it doesn't bother me. The rest of my band, like, smoke and drink. And I mean, in fact, if you probably offered them a toke, they'd love you for it, right? But I mean, for me, it's like, you know, 38, it's like what works and what doesn't. You know, if something is working for you, then you go with it. And sometimes the process of elimination takes longer than you expect, right? But when I was writing before, what I do is I wake up in the morning. Okay, here's my routine. About Terry time, right? I'd like wake up in the morning and have like 9 hemo bong rips, and then like a large coffee, and I'd sit on the couch. And I'd just be like, that's like the coolest riff of all time. But I'd never get past the riff. I just like keep playing it, and then I'd be like, wow, and then I could put like a unicorn on it. And then all of a sudden I'd have like record after record that was like a lot of really elaborate verses, and then of course, and then a bunch more elaborate, you know, it's like, but now it's like my life, my process, my inspiration, dude, I got a 4-year-old kid, I got 38, my family's bananas, you know, I've been married for 20 years, I mean, like, you know, I have to build a deck still because the last one like fucked up. You know, it's like, you know, it's like there's so many things that come along with just being like a normal dude that really before, like I was thinking the other day, I was like in the middle of some crazy thing, and I thought, where did I find the time when I was all high? Because I get high, I'm like, I got nothing to do today. Right? And then now it's like, dude, I gotta do this, I gotta take the kid to school, we're gonna do like. You know, it's like, you gotta schedule that. I gotta tell you what. So basically now, if I get one time a week to sit down, like I never write anymore. I honestly just pick up the guitar, and then if a song's supposed to be there, it comes out. They talk about Carl Jung, collective unconscious, right? Whereas like, there's no such thing as an original song or original idea. And I believe that. I mean, I think it's like, you know, as an artist or as a human or whatever, you just like, you go through these different things in life, and then you're more open to, you know, kind of grabbing it, right? And there's songs everywhere, man. It's like, the trees are singing, bro, you just gotta listen to pick it out of the air, man. It's like this, it goes, tree. Right? So, basically, it's like, that was not the best example. Oh, I didn't tell you, it's on my new record, it's called Tree. And the concept, get this, is about a tree. I mean, actually, that's, you know, ironic that I said that. And, yeah, how could I be so clever? But actually, I'm not. But they, you know, it's like really now, it's like, it's all about reality. And I think that's what, like, deconstruction is about as well. It's like, you go so far into trying to take your world apart, because on some level, like Ziltoid as well, right? He's like arrogant enough to assume that as a human being, he's capable of figuring out the grand scheme of things, right? It's like, oh, it's something to do with fractals and the golden mean and, you know, the Mandelbrot set and all this sort of stuff, right? He's like, let's go, and then they go, and then it's like, and they go through this big crazy thing. It's heavy, and at the end, they're like, come on, all right, I'm ready for it. I'm intellectually capable of receiving this information. Like, you ready? It's a cheeseburger. And he's like, what? And so the whole point is like, everything is everything. There's no secrets. It's just what it is. It's a cheeseburger. And the guy's like, so I've been looking at cheeseburgers all the time? Like, yeah, well, in there's like wheat, and with wheat, there was like farmers with water, and then there's chemicals and drugs and violence. And so you take anything as far as you want to take it, right? But honestly, at that point, at the end of it, that's why Ghost taps, because at the end of deconstruction, guys just got a headache. He's just like, yeah, okay, cool. But so this whole time I could have just like been eating the cheeseburger, but I'm a vegetarian, right? So like, damn. That's so with Ghost, that's the whole point of it. Is at the end, it's just like, well, I just want to hear something beautiful, straight up. You know, there's no metaphor to it. There's nothing. It's like Ghost. Actually, the word Ghost is because there's nothing there. You know, there's no hidden agenda. It's like, it's beautiful. Thank you very much. Good night. Enjoy the feel. I'll be here all week. Right? Well, that was a very roundabout way of answering that question, right? Wow, man. Yeah, right. They say talking to yourself is a sign of mental stability. So is misenunciating words. At least that's what I tell myself. Anybody else have a question before I rock? Yes, please.
Do you have time to read Facebook or Twitter?
Oh, I read Twitter like every day. I'm relentlessly on Twitter, but Facebook I don't, because every time I go on there, it's like, hey man, you remember me? I'm from grade 2. We should hang out. And I'm like, I don't know you. I mean, it's like the way I set my world up is like, and it sucks too, because when people catch me off guard, I'm just like, I don't want to talk. But it's like, if I can psych myself up for a meeting like this, it's like, man, I'm here. This is like, as much as it sounds like it like belittles the actual joy of doing it, it's a job, right? And it's like, in order to, you know, to connect with people who the music has like an emotional interaction with, you've got to be like available and be willing to answer whatever